Yeah. Welcome, gentlemen. This is a early edition, early video for me. I have a request from Killa 100. Hey, Killa, shout to you, buddy. Thank you for the drop. You guys can do that in one of my previous videos, or go on my Facebook page, go to Messenger, and drop a message to as well of what you think should be talked about or discussed. Like I say, guys, I have no Patreon. I don't believe in Patreon. So I don't have Patreon backers. You guys, you give me information of what you think should be talked about, and I will go out there and do my diligence to get the information I need. It's gonna take a couple days, but I did in a few hours. This information wasn't too bad though. I went on different websites, watched different YouTube's videos, got an idea of what it looks like, what it's going to be. I have a pretty safe idea what I'm going to say. It's probably going to be pretty much accurate. But I went ahead and typed up a small thing in here. That's why I'm going back and forth reading stuff. So you see a white screen, that's just me because going back and forth reading stuff. Um, I'm actually on, I actually go on Tech Radar, and we will read this and discuss a lot of this stuff. I did research too as well, so I have a second page too as well. Looking at too as well, with my bullet point notes what I'm looking at, so you guys will know exactly what I'm talking about. uh, the first thing I got from my bullet points is price. Price would be one of those things to look at. But what is the Microsoft Xbox handheld? Could it take on Switch 2 in October? It could. Um, uh, dash, it could take on, you know, a lot of stuff. It could do a lot and take on Switch 2 and Steam. It says here Switch 2. I can put Steam in here too as well. Because the Steam handheld is actually something that's going to give Nintendo a run for its money. I think the Steam handheld is more. I'm gonna change this one. I think the Steam handheld is going to be more of a threat to the Xbox than Switch too. And why I say that is because I do copy headers and use them sometimes as my own header, and I go in there and I tweak them to add stuff to them because to me personally, it's easier to get an idea what they're trying to say on these pages, but also get my spin to as well. Um, but I do believe that if you look at the situation, I think that the Deck, the Steam Deck is going to be more of a threat than Switch 2. That's just my honest opinion. If you want my honest opinion, the price of the Steam Deck is literally still cheaper than the Alley, and right on, it's still cheaper than the Switch too. In certain markets, now certain countries might get different, you know, down different prices differently, if tariff restrictions being lifted or whatever. But that's all going to be speculation right now. We don't have all the information to know for sure. But that's why I put Steam 2 and I put Switch 2 and Steam in there. I believe that the Switch 2 is going to be a threat, but not a colossal one, as well as the Steam is going to be more of a threat. So I'm on here looking at Tech Radar and talked about the Allied and the Rock Ally handhelds could launch in October. The base model is $499. The Ally X is $799. Price point MSR crawl is using the same processor. Is also unconfirmed. Um, it has a Ryzen 72 Z2 Extreme processor. This is something that is going to be interesting to look at. Uh, Also worth noting that the Asus Rock Ally saw a price hike from $799 to over $899. In Australia, I think it's $1,500. So concerns about potential outrageous pricing leads to Rock Ally Xbox Ally X, are warranted. I mean, it's something, and the Steam box is still going to be in the Steam box, and the Steam Deck is still going to be cheaper in the sense. Even if the Xbox Ally or Xbox Ally and Ally X do hit the market, even if they hit the market, and even if they're 499, 799, they're still going to be more expensive than the Steam OS, Steam handheld, Steam Deck. And to me, that's kind of a bad thing to set. People don't want to spend $800, $500 on handhelds. If you got a kid, you already spent $450 on a damn friggin' that Switch 2. Or if you're a kid in heart like I am, you bought Switch 2, except me, because I just don't see the appeal in it right now. One game is not going to rock me. But I get why people bought the thing. I get it. But why are you gonna? And here is my bullet point here: the price, and also here's my bullet point: devil's advocate. Why are you gonna buy an Xbox handheld? If the Steam Deck, if you can put Windows 11 and maybe even get it installed from Steam itself, maybe, I don't know if you can or not. You might have to do it yourself, and I've heard it's not that hard. And you can put it on there. And the Alley Rock that had the MSI Alley Rock had issues with Windows 11 working on that handheld. Now the Xbox One's going to have Windows 11, obviously, and it's going to have the Xbox Game Pass already involved. Now there's no mention of a 3 month or free month or whatever, or $700 gives you like a three. If you buy this one for $500, you get like a 1 month, and $700 you get a 3 months free of Game Pass Ultimate. That has not been mentioned at all anywhere in the text that I've seen for the last few hours. Now I went to I know I know I did some stuff research. I went to sleep. I woke up around 2, did a little more research, and here I am with the video. I did not see anything about that. And why is it important? You might ask. Why is that important? Well, there's a thing called Game Pass Ultimate that they tout as being the greatest thing since sliced bread was invented, and it's hard to disclaim that because it has plenty of games to play, tons of them, old and day one new releases. But if you're not on the Xbox ecosystem, you don't even know them. No, you don't even know them from know from Adam. You have no clue what the hell the Xbox is. If you're a PlayStation guy or PC guy or Nintendo guy, PC you might know. So we'll get rid of PC guys. And PlayStation kind of knows a little bit. So if you're a Switch person or a person who's getting back into gaming and just wants a cheap handheld, and you see the Switch too, and then you see this Xbox Alley, base and X for $500 and $700. Like, what's the difference? Was it come with Does it come with some kind of great thing like 1 month or 3 month of Game Pass Ultimate? Now you might know that. Now you might have done research enough to know what Game Pass Ultimate is, or may not. But the fact is that this thing is going to have, I do believe, have the Epic Store. I do believe on it. I think it's going to have Epic Store. It didn't say anything about having Steam on there. Not right yet though. Um, it didn't say anything about having any type of Steam app or anything on it at all. So we don't know for sure what's going to have on it day one. That's why I keep telling people that everything day one is going to be something that we do not know for sure. Now, if it does have the capability of having the Steam OS on there through a Windows, Windows emulation somehow that could work with it, and that'd be interesting to see because Windows and Linux are now two different operating systems. That'd be something special to look at, but it probably won't have it right away. And if it's not there right away, and you're a PC guy, You're only limited to just only limited to the Xbox ecosystem. And you may have a Game Pass Ultimate Xbox app like I have. So why don't you need one? But I can see it being good on the go. If you can, if it works on the go like the Steam Deck, where if you're offline, it does require you check in every 24 hours. If that's the case, then this thing's a no go for me. I mean, it's a non-starter. If you had to hook up to a Wi-Fi thing to use this thing, it's a no. No, it's a non-starter to me because there's one bullet points here. It says if it requires Wi-Fi connectivity to check in periodically to update into work. What's the point? I read my I kind of it kind of reads kind of funny. What I'm trying to say is though that was if you gotta check in, I don't know, every 24 hours or every few hours to make sure that you own this game or you have Game Pass Ultimate and you don't own any games and you can't use this thing offline, it is a non-starter for me. We don't have all the information yet. And the thing fully comes out in October, folks. Supposedly October. So, it's literally today is literally June 19th. And one, two, three, 4 months away. Let's say it came out on the 19th. 4 months away. 4 months away, folks. That is 4 months away. 4 months. I mean, I don't know, what the hell Microsoft is thinking. I don't think they even know what they're thinking. Because as of right now, this thing is pretty much a non-starter. If I don't, if I cannot play games offline, same doing the Steam Deck too as well. The Steam Deck you can play offline. So this information, I have friends who have the Steam Deck. But with the Xbox ecosystem being constricted online all the time, try to play Game Pass Ultimate games offline. See how far you get. You won't get very far with it on your Xbox. So what's going to make a difference that they're going to think they're going to allow you to do this on the Steam Deck or on the Alley Rock or the Xbox Alley or Alley X? This stuff has consideration, guys. We have to take everything into consideration and understand you're putting down you're putting down $500 to $800 smackers down on something that may or may not be a non-starter. That may not be anything other, just stuff, just some fluff. And to me, that's very dangerous because if you're going to put that kind of money down and just flukily blow it away and not care about the fact that you have, an ecosystem that's really struggling right now to stay afloat. The Xbox console, guys, is really struggling really struggling to stay relevant. This could make it just obsolete or not even important anymore. I mean, what would happen? Because you can get Windows 11 on your Steam Deck and have your Steam OS and Windows 11 on the same one, technically. Because I have Windows 11 on my PC and my Steam app runs perfectly fine. So in handheld mode, it might be a little different, obviously, size and size and stuff like that kind of stuff with the whole situation, size and the a different power, different processor and that kind of stuff. So, those things you can take consideration. But see, I'm thinking outside the box here. Ooh, it's awesome. It's cool. Oh, it doesn't work offline. Non-starter. They have to make it where you can play it offline. 4 or 5 days, a week, whatever, something. Because if your internet goes out or if you're traveling and your car does not have internet built in, like a lot of cars don't. I have a 26 Honda Civic that doesn't have it. Now I went from a 2004 Saturn Ion to a 2016 Honda Civic. I had that car for so long that I didn't even know what Bluetooth was. Outside of having it on the headsets and your phones, I had it in my car. Like, wow, cool. So, guys, there is a lot of stuff out there that we need that needs to be discussed, that needs to be looked at. The price point's cool. Now, I'll get the website information. Where I got my information from. One of them anyway. Tech Radar. You can read it yourself. Um, but it didn't say anything about being able to play offline here. And to me personally, I want to make sure that you can play offline only because if you happen to where you're on a road trip and you don't have internet, or your internet goes out in your car, or your internet goes out in your parents' house, grandma's house, whatever house you're in. And example, insert your example here, and you're there for a month or a week, and you can't play the damn thing unless unless you go to the gas station or whatever, or McDonald's to log into their Wi-Fi to you know download the update patch. I call it that to allow you to play it for 24 hours or whatever the case may be. If you can't play online gaming anyway, it doesn't matter. If you can't play most of the games or Xbox or online anyway, it doesn't matter to play. There's a good story-based games coming too as well. But will it require 24-hour online? We know it will for Call of Duty games and Battlefield games like that because you have to have online play to play online. But if you're going to play different games that are story-based, are those going to be offline? You can play offline. If it isn't, and let's say you have 200 games on your Game Pass, and say half of them, 100 of them, require online to play, and the other half, can you play those offline? That is my biggest thing. See, guys, I don't mind new innovations coming out, but they got to make sense. They have to make sense, and they got to make understanding decisions that will not be just a coat of paint and looking nice and pretty, but actually have some substance to them. We have to have this conversation, folks. This conversation, guys, has to be had. So thank you, Killa, for having me talk about this because it's interesting to really discuss this and to think about it in a way that's outside the box, so to speak. Not everything, guys, is concrete. Okay, not everything is going to be concrete and set in stone. But there's things out there that we have to deal with, and I feel that putting this in the back burner or putting this somewhere where it may not be in the best interest to let sit there and go, okay, cool, we're gonna let sit here and we're gonna let this just hopefully do something, may not materialize in dollars and cents that Microsoft wants. It may actually drive them deeper and deeper into just getting rid of the Xbox brand and cutting it loose and going on their merry way with Windows and not worrying about it anymore. Because if this doesn't work out, then what the hell is Microsoft going to do? They already got close to $100 billion of debt for Microsoft. Now, granted, they could either pay it off being a $1 trillion company, but why would he pay for somebody else's mistake? Why would you give Phil Spencer a check for $100 billion to wipe clean, the debt? Because him and his team were out there grabbing every company with both hands. Sometimes you gotta let things happen. And in closing, I think that the Steam Deck is probably going to curb stomp this Xbox into the ground because they'll come out there. All you gotta do is lower the price down, make it compatible for online play with only single player games, and that's done. And the Xbox Alley is a thing of the past. Hell, and even the Switch too, you can play a lot of games offline. So that right there, guys, is not something that needs to be addressed. Guys, I'll talk about this topic some other time. Well, Killa, here's the response video you're wanting. I do appreciate you guys' requests. To be forewarned, guys, I do have only a small window of time to do stuff. News update, I may be going to weekend daytime. So if I do that, I won't be doing the weekend news as I used to do it. I'll be doing it probably Sunday night to Monday morning, but not doing it like on Saturday morning to Sunday morning. Well, time will tell if that happens or not next couple weeks. So thank you guys for watching this video. I thank you, Killa, for the advice and also the video advice. Good topic. I know I read about it. I'm gonna delete my red ball points here. Um, in closing, guys, I do believe that this could be an interesting battle between Microsoft and Steam or Valve. But don't think Microsoft's gonna come on top on this one. Just like they had problem with the console, they had problem with the handhelds. But if they can get the fact where you can play single player games offline, well, even if it's on Game Pass, if you can authenticate somehow, say, hey, do you have this? And it's, it's on the Alley X or Alley base model, and you can play it. And I'm sold on it. If you can't play a single player game offline on no, on a handheld, then it's not worth it. It's not worth it at all. So, because I'll talk this topic again probably in a few more weeks. We have until likely October until it releases. So, I may talk about this one here again in July. I'm still working on my best games of all time list. I'm still going through it. I have about 3 or 4 I've gotten down so far, and they're the games of my generation, games I've played, and games of the new generation. So that topic too will be top too as well. I'm gonna probably do that probably next few weeks, and I'll get that out to you guys in a live stream. So I'll see you guys later. Peace out. Like, subscribe, in case you hit that bell. Be blessed. God bless all you guys. Be safe out there. Peace.